What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Let's talk about a few goals the Clippers should go after or prioritize in this offseason, since their offseason is here already. Earlier than we expected, but it's here and we have to go forward with it. Now, of course, the Clippers right now, I would say, are, very well put together the way their team is in regards to the clientele they have. I personally believe that Marcus Morris might be dealt in the offseason, or at least that's the one they're looking at, in regards to his contract and how they can, might be able to make some adjustments there. But there might be others that might be in place as well, or might be, looked at as far as offseason trades as well. So we'll see. And only time will tell. But at the same time, one of the things, the goals I feel like they should definitely focus on, which is probably priority number one, is try to find a way to stay healthy, of course. I mean, I've been saying this team the last couple years have just been the most injury prone NBA Finals contender type team that I've seen, maybe besides the Brooklyn Nets, of course, but the Clippers have definitely been the most injury prone and had the most promise, and they still got a lot of promise to them, but I mean, it's starting to flare out because, time is passing and, the opportunity of winning a championship is getting smaller, even though it's still there for the Clippers, but it's still getting smaller. And we have to realize that, they have to be healthy in order to make this run. It can't be, PG without Kawhi without PG. It can't be Kawhi and PG without, Reggie Jackson being there, or one of the major core players that contributes a lot. They have to have all their pieces, you know what I'm saying? And the one piece I feel like that, that really or the one piece that needs to be there, of course, has got to be Kawhi Leonard, of course, because, he's the best player on the team. And not only that, it's just the fact that, his impact on both ends of the floor really makes a difference. I mean, we saw it last year in the series against Dallas. We've seen it in his career with San Antonio, with the Raptors. I mean, Kawhi just makes that type of difference. I mean, when he's on your team, you're automatically a contender to win a championship. That's just the way it is when he's on the floor. He's just that dynamic of a player because he affects both sides of the floor, and he affects both sides of the floor in a good way. I mean, in a very, very positive way. So, I mean, having him there can definitely make a lot of the difference. I mean, of course, I believe they can win a championship if, hypothetically, if Paul George was down a while and Kawhi was holding down the fort. I think they can possibly win a championship that way, even though it would take a lot out of Kawhi Leonard. And I wouldn't really prefer that because, he's definitely coming off ACL surgery and everything like that. But still, he's just that dynamic of a player is my point. Not saying they 100% would win the championship with Kawhi Leonard. He just makes you a contender, and he's definitely good enough to put a team on his back because we've seen him do it. But my point is, get everybody healthy to better your chances, to put yourself in the right position to possibly win it, because that's what it's all about. And especially this year coming up, it's all about winning the championship. It's not about anything else. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. I mean, they got to at least, bare minimum, they got to at least make it to a finals, but the ultimatum, they got to win it, because I mean, hey, the operation has been together for the last couple years, and something good has got to come out of it, and a championship hopefully is what comes out of it. So I think the whole city of LA would definitely be, shocked / excited, what I'm saying, because it's like a lot of people that's not even Clippers fans wouldn't pull for them, but at the same time, if the championship is still in LA, I don't think a lot of people would hate as much, because it's like, dang, see the Clippers actually win a championship, knowing that they never won one before, with the opportunities that they had as a team and the superstars they had on the team. To see it actually all come to fruition would be a great thing. So health is definitely important, so they can make a run at that championship and possibly, open up more eyes and ears to, the LA way in Clipperland, rather than just always be in Lakerland, because Lakers got plenty of championships. Now it's time for the Clippers to get one, in Clippers Nation mind. So definitely, that'd be great. And the other thing, of course, I've said it many times, they got to find a way to acquire a starting point guard or a backup point guard, either one. I mean, at this point, because like I said, it'll take a lot of pressure off Reggie Jackson. It'll take a lot of pressure off Kawhi and PG from having to try to get 5-6 assists a game. To average that throughout a season and do their thing on offense is just asking too much, I think, of certain players sometimes. And even Reggie Jackson, he is a shooting guard, not a point guard. So, he's more of the type that likes to score rather than facilitate, even though he has the ability to facilitate because he's shown that these last couple of years. But at the same time, that's really not his thing. He's more of a go after the scoring. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he does. He's a scorer. That's what he got in the league for. So, I mean, having a backup point guard or a point guard who can solidify and put the offense in good standards when the game is waning or the momentum is shifting from the Clippers, as we've seen in a lot of games between this year, last year, and the last couple years. Sometime they would be up by 5 to 8 points with 3-4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and sometime would give up leads because they didn't have that certain point guard to put everybody in position, calm the offense down, and run a good play and get a high percentage shot. Now, they tried that with Rondo and it didn't work. So I think Rondo is just pretty much out of his prime. And I think he's just a locker room cancer. I really do. That's the reason why I believe he's been around, the league. He's kind of been a journeyman around the league. So, I mean, the Clippers kind of took a chance on him. I thought he would be a good fit in regards to what they were trying to do. But at the same time, like I said, his disruption in the locker room and, his attitude and everything like that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. So, I mean, I definitely understand the reason why they couldn't deal with him going forward or anything like that, because he's just a hard person to deal with. It's almost like he feels like he knows more than the coach and he knows too much for his own good. And those type of things right there, they get you nowhere. They get you as a journeyman in the league and, trying to find your footing and not really having a certified home. Good thing for Rondo, he's found a way to get multiple championships in his, career in the NBA, which is good for him. But the Clippers can definitely do a lot better and a lot younger too. And some of the pieces that are, or some of the names that are out there, like I said, the Augustines and, players like that, the Goran Dragic's, they need to look into those players because they definitely can help their point guard role. And those, you definitely need somebody who's not a look first to score, more or less facilitate and score when need be on a need be basis, on a need to basis. That's the type of point guard I think they need because their offense is already good enough. So, I mean, I think that, they definitely need to look in that area, prioritize in that area as well. And to a side note to that, I mean, about Marcus Morris in the power forward position, they can, I guess that they're looking into that position now, especially if, they're shopping Marcus Morris' contract based upon his inconsistencies. So if they could find a good power forward or a good small forward, whatever, like that, to replace him, that'd be good if they can. I'm not sure if they could, but if they could, I would like somebody like Jerry Grant. That dude is really good. I think he's a really good, solid, forward and who plays defense and who's pretty, his scoring is a lot better too, now. So, I mean, I think that's somebody they can go after as well, so we'll see how it goes and what decisions they make, or if they decide to keep, Marcus Morris or whatever the case may be, what I'm saying, but we'll see how it pans out with that. But the other, position or other goal I think they should focus on as well should be the center position. I think having another big man definitely can't hurt. You got Zubac and you got Hartenstein. Hopefully they re-sign Hartenstein. I like his energy. I like the way he plays, and I love his momentum when he comes in there. He definitely gives the Clippers a different dynamic of a big man because he's a hustler and he plays with the mentality of somebody who's like, it's almost like they're playing volunteer basketball, almost like he's not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He plays with that edge and that energy, like for pride. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't play the game like, he's just playing it for a paycheck. And I definitely respect that about Hartenstein. I really do. So, and I hope that, they decide to keep him as well. But I definitely think it wouldn't hurt for them to actually have another big man on the roster, which is the reason why I felt so bad when they let go of Serge Ibaka, because I thought he was just the perfect big man to have in regards to a good locker room guy and understanding situational basketball, and his veteran leadership and winning championships, or winning a championship definitely helps, the team as well and their progression and all that. So they definitely need somebody that's a good locker room guy guy and somebody who can, come in there and, play a position, maybe not play a lot of minutes, but give them solid minutes whenever he plays. Maybe you go after Marc Gasol. I don't know if Marc Gasol is still, playing or anything like that, but I definitely think he's one of those big guys they can actually just add to the roster and don't have to pay that much for him. Now that brings wisdom to the team. Good locker room guy, a champion, somebody who knows how to be a big man, have a presence in the NBA, because he's definitely had that. He's been Defensive Player of the Year. He's been a champion, as I said. Marc Gasol is definitely one of the most skilled big men we ever seen, besides his brother, actually, in Pau Gasol. So, somebody like that would be good as like a add-on big man center position, to their operation and everything like that. So I hopefully they look for a big man in regards to a center position. Another additional piece there would definitely help. And like I said, Zubac, it'll put a little bit more pressure on Zubac to play a little bit better too, having another big man in there. And that's what you want. You want to, have that competition in the locker room, but you want it to be good competition, not like in a bad way. So, that would, I feel like that's a position they need to look into. I don't know whether they're going to trade Zubac or not or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because, I know they see some inconsistencies in his game as well, but he also has a lot of potential too. So, you got to look at it from that standpoint. You got to keep that in the back of your mind as well. So in my mind, those are the things that I feel like the Clippers, need to look at and prioritize on, because if they do, I feel like that'll better their chances in regards to winning a championship and, putting the work in, this next season to go after that championship. Because I said before, their window of opportunity is closing more than any other team, if you ask me, because they still pretty much got the same nucleus of the same players they had before in the last couple of years. And it just hasn't worked out, whether through injury or whether through a malfunction in the bubble that they had. It just didn't work out so far. So, this has got to be the year they pull it off, bare minimum, at least make it to the finals, because like I said, contracts and everything will be, up by next season. Reggie Jackson will be able to walk. I think, Kawhi Leonard and PG, I think they can make some alterations in their contracts. So, everything's got to work for them this year. Everybody's got to be as healthy as possible, and everybody's got to understand, you got to be all for one. And like I said, adding those few pieces and prioritizing the things I just spoke about, I think that can help and better their chances a lot more. So hopefully they take, maybe not my advice, but hopefully they take, or have those thoughts into consideration to where they can make those things happen for this team, and going forward, they can make a run for a championship. But hey, that's my take on everything. You leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Kelly out.